Hello and welcome to Kashmir Now. I'm your host Akansha Parimu. Let's take a look at what made news this week. Lawyers in POGB protest injustice, plans to close Karakoram highway. Road planning crisis ignites anger in POJK residents. Heat-resistant apples developed at Krishi Vigyan Kendra, Riyasi. And people of Jammu and Kashmir choose harmony over hate, take strong stand against terrorism. In our Incredible India segment, let's have a look at how women across India are changing the game, driving tractors and decisions, leading in fields and boardrooms alike. With increasing job opportunities and growing financial confidence, they are not just stepping into the workforce, they are transforming it. Join us as we celebrate stories of strength, ambition, and the incredible women driving India's future forward. For the people of Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan, justice isn't delayed, it's disappeared. For nearly 7 months, the region's courts have remained paralyzed. Judges haven't been appointed, cases are piling up, and citizens are left stranded in legal darkness. Now, with no signs of change, lawyers say they are ready to block the Karakoram highway, the region's very lifeline. Have a look.
In a place where mountains tower high, people's hope in justice has hit rock bottom. Gilgit-Baltistan's highest court has no judges, not for days or weeks, but for nearly 7 months. Over 12,000 cases now sit idle, and there is no indication of when or if justice will resume. Land disputes, criminal appeals, family cases, all frozen. For citizens seeking justice, it is like knocking on a locked door again and again, with no one inside. Lawyers say the very foundation of the judicial system has crumbled, and with it, the people's faith in governance.
सुप्रीम अपीलेट कोर्ट में गुज़श्ता 6-7 सालों से जजेस नहीं थे और तकरीबन 10-12 हज़ार केसेस पेंडिंग में थे। तो ये अवामी मसाइल हैं, क्योंकि अवाम का जब ऊपर अपीलें नहीं चल रही तो नीचे अदालतें चलाने का भी फायदा नहीं है।
But this is more than a legal deadlock. It is a humanitarian crisis in the making. When courts go silent, the vulnerable suffer first. In villages and towns across the region, families are stuck in legal limbo. Land disputes linger unresolved for years. Inheritance cases stall generations, and victims of violence see their complaints vanish into files no one opens. Without proper judges, one individual is tasked with wearing multiple hats as magistrate, civil judge and more, creating a chaotic overlap that is both unsustainable and unjust.
तीसरी बात यह कि वकुला प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट है, जिसमें पूरे पाकिस्तान में वकुला के बाबत प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट है, और लेकिन यहाँ गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में नहीं है। इसी तरह यहाँ पर जो जुडिशरी है उस जिसमें वकुला भी अवाम भी सफ़र हो रहे हैं, क्योंकि जुडिशल मजिस्ट्रेट और सिविल जज को एक ही पोस्ट है कि उसमें तमाम मुकदमात उसको पर जिम्मेदारी दी गई है। तो उसमें यह कि पेशियाँ ज़्यादा होने की वजह से तारीखों पर तारीखें पड़ती है, लोग फिर वकुला से नाला होते हैं कि भाई ये तारीखें लेते हैं, तो काम का बर्डन इतना होता है कि काम नहीं निकलता आगे से।
And yet, despite repeated protests, letters and press briefings, there has been deafening silence from the assembly. Not a single special session has been called, not a single legislative move to resolve the crisis. What stings more is that of the region's elected lawmakers are lawyers themselves, professionals who understand the gravity of this collapse, and still they have looked the other way. As frustration deepens, lawyers warn that if those in power continue to ignore the courts, they will soon find the roads blocked too, starting with the Karakoram highway. The Nagar Bar Council has extended its strike until April 26. If their demands remain ignored, lawyers say they will shut down the Karakoram highway, a move that could disrupt life across the entire region.
In Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir's Muzaffarabad, frustration is at an all-time high. A road development project near Shah Sultan Bridge has turned into a symbol of reckless spending and zero accountability. Crores of rupees have reportedly been wasted in repeated construction, demolition and redesign with no end in sight. As daily life remains disrupted, residents are demanding answers from an unresponsive administration. Let's have a look.
Near the bustling Shah Sultan Bridge in Muzaffarabad, what started as a road improvement project has now become a mess of dust, debris and discontent. Concrete blocks, tin sheets, ropes and barriers have all been installed only to be removed, replaced and reinstalled again and again. Each time, crores are spent and each time the work is left incomplete. Locals say this is not development, it's administrative negligence at its worst.
मैं वज़ीर आज़म आज़ाद कमर रियासत जम्मू और कश्मीर जनाब चौधरी अनवार अल हक साहब से ये गुजारिश करूँगा कि जिन लोगों ने यहाँ ये काम किया है उनसे ये मेरी अपील है, बल्कि आज़ाद कश्मीर के अवाम की तरफ से, कैपिटल के अवाम की तरफ से उन्हें ये अपील करता हूँ कि जिन्होंने भी ये प्लानिंग की है कि उन्हें जितना बड़ा अनाम दे सकते हैं वो अनाम दें, और अनाम इसलिए दें कि उनकी ये बेमिसाल कारकर्दगी, उनकी प्लानिंग का नतीजा ये है कि गुज़श्ता एक साल से यहाँ कोई प्लानिंग उनकी नहीं हो रही। ये शाह सुल्तान पुल है, यहाँ से लेकर साथरे तक, यहाँ मेरे ख्याल में ऐसा लगता है कि इस वक्त तक करोड़ों रुपए आवाम के दिए गए टैक्स के जो है वो खर्च कर दिए गए।
This road fiasco is more than just an inconvenience. It's slowly strangling life in the area. Small businesses along the Shah Sultan Bridge stretch are choking under constant clouds of dust. Shopkeepers report drastic drop in customer footfall. Residents say their children are falling ill from the toxic air and traffic snarls have become a daily nightmare. With ambulances struggling to pass and emergency services delayed, the chaos is affecting more than just convenience. It's a public safety hazard. Despite the growing outcry, officials remain silent. No clarification, no timeline, and certainly no accountability. The project had shown a flicker of momentum during the tenure of former Commissioner Masood Rahman, the only time when the construction appeared to follow some coherent timeline. But ever since his abrupt transfer, that progress has unraveled. Work came to a grinding halt. Barriers were left uncollected, half-poured cement curbs now crumble, and whatever little had been achieved has begun deteriorating in the absence of oversight. Locals now call the site a living monument to administrative failure, a reminder of how quickly things fall apart when no one is held responsible.
ये जो पैसे लगाए गए हैं, जिसमें लाखों रुपए तो लगे होंगे, उनकी तहकीकात की जाए, क्या किसी ने जेब से दिए हैं? अवाम का टैक्स है और अवाम के टैक्स के पैसे ये क्यों लगा के उन अफसरान को अगर सजा नहीं दे सकते वज़ीर-ए-आज़म, तो मैंने प्रोग्राम के ये आपके सवाल के शुरू में कहा, अगर उन्हें सजा नहीं दे सकते, इसकी इंक्वायरी नहीं कर सकते, तो उन्हें चाहिए कि वो एक पब्लिक मीटिंग में मुनक़द करके, पब्लिक का इज्तिमा मुनक़द करके उनको इस काम के लिए जो है वो इनाम दें।
In a region long plagued by neglect, this road symbolizes more than poor planning. It reflects a broken system. The Shah Sultan Bridge project was meant to bring progress, but it's brought only disruption, dust and disillusionment. The people of Muzaffarabad are no longer asking for miracles, just working roads, honest answers and leadership that listens. Until that happens, this unfinished road remains a symbol of unfinished governance.
In news from India's Jammu and Kashmir, recently Krishi Vigyan Kendra Riyasi has developed a heat-resistant variety of apples aimed at helping farmers tackle rising temperatures and unpredictable climates. This innovation ensures better yields, improving the resilience of apple cultivation in hotter regions, enhancing food security. Let's have a look.
Krishi Vigyan Kendra is a leading agricultural research and extension organization in India, focused on promoting sustainable farming practices. Building on its commitment to sustainable farming, KVK has made a significant breakthrough in its Riyasi center by developing a special apple variety that thrives in the hot, subtropical climate of North India. This innovation is a game changer, offering farmers in the region new opportunities to grow apples where it was once thought impossible. It's a much-needed solution to climate-related challenges, promising improved livelihoods and agricultural sustainability. Traditionally, apples have been grown in temperate climates and were considered unsuitable for the hot, humid plains. However, through innovative research by KVK Riyasi under the Sher-e-Kashmir University of Agricultural Sciences and Technology of Jammu, a heat-tolerant apple variety has been developed that can flourish in lower altitudes and higher temperatures.
हमने जहाँ पे अन्ना नाम की वैरायटी जो एप्पल की है वो अपने केवीके में लगाई हुई है। हमने इसको देखा कि अब ये 3 इयर्स के प्लांट्स हो गए हैं और ये एक अच्छा मतलब इनमें फ्रूटिंग शुरू हो गई है और ये एक अर्ली मैच्योरिंग वैरायटी है। ऑब्जेक्टिव ये है कि जो सब ट्रॉपिकल बेल्ट्स हैं, जो ट्रॉपिकल बेल्ट्स हैं उसमें ये वैरायटी जो है अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस देती है और हमने यहाँ करके देखा है, क्योंकि अमूमन क्या है कि इन एरियाज़ में एप्पल ग्रो होता नहीं है। ये वैरायटी जो है इन एरियाज़ के लिए सक्सेसफुल है और इस वैरायटी को लगा के फार्मर जो है अपनी एक इनकम का जो सोर्स है वो बढ़ा सकते हैं। जैसे यहाँ पे सिट्रस होता है, संतरा होता है, जामला होता है, लेकिन हमने देखा कि यहाँ पे एप्पल भी हो सकता है।
KVK Riyasi has launched comprehensive training and distribution programs aimed at equipping farmers with the essential knowledge and skills for successful apple cultivation. These initiatives focus on teaching the latest techniques from planting to harvesting, ensuring that farmers are well prepared to grow apples efficiently. Additionally, the department is committed to closely monitoring the progress of these efforts, offering continuous support to address challenges and ensure sustainable growth. This hands-on approach will help farmers navigate the transition to apple cultivation with confidence, ultimately boosting their productivity and income.
ये एरिया जो है सब ट्रॉपिकल एरिया में आता है और जो एप्पल की बाग जो इसकी बात हम यहाँ पर कर रहे हैं, तो सेब ऐसा माना जाता है कि टेम्परेट रीजन में उगाया जाता है, जहाँ पर सेब को उगाने के लिए या अखरोट को उगाने के लिए हमारे पास 12,000 से लेकर 14,000 तक का चिलिंग आवर्स की ज़रूरत होती है। लेकिन ये ऐसा एरिया जहाँ पर इतने चिलिंग आवर्स नहीं मिलते हैं, तो यहाँ पर हमने एक ऐसी वैरायटी जो है उसको यहाँ पे ट्रायल के बेस पे यूज़ किया था, जो अन्ना वैरायटी है। ये अन्ना वैरायटी है, जबकि दूसरी वैरायटी जो हरमन वैरायटी रहती है। लेकिन अन्ना वैरायटी का ट्रायल यहाँ पर इतना सफल रहा है कि जहाँ पर 3 साल में यहाँ पर हमें अच्छा फ्रूट जो है मिला हुआ है। तो हमारा ये मानना है कि अगर ये वैरायटी यहाँ पे इस इलाके में सब ट्रॉपिकल एरिया में अगर हम लगाते हैं तो हमारे किसान भाइयों को इसका अच्छा फायदा मिल सकता है।
Beyond its immediate benefits for farmers, this initiative also holds great promise for the broader community. As local apple production rises, it is expected to drive economic growth, create jobs and strengthen local markets. This breakthrough can significantly transform the local agricultural landscape. It offers farmers a chance to diversify their crops and improve their income while contributing to food security in the region. By making apple cultivation viable in a subtropical climate, KVK Riyasi is paving the way for more resilient, climate-smart agriculture. This achievement underscores the importance of research and innovation in shaping the future of sustainable farming in India.
In a powerful display of unity and resilience, People across India's Jammu and Kashmir came together to protest against terrorism, sending a clear message that violence has no place in their lives. The recent terror attack in Pahalgam has brought deep sorrow to the people of Jammu and Kashmir, but it has also inspired a powerful sense of unity and strength throughout the region. From local leaders to citizens, voices are rising in solidarity to condemn the attack and demand peace. We have a report. The recent terror attack in Pahalgam shook the entire nation, claiming innocent lives and attempting to spread fear in the serene region of Jammu and Kashmir. However, in the face of tragedy, what emerged was a powerful display of unity and resilience. People from all religions, Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs and Christians came together in a rare and inspiring show of solidarity to condemn the act of terror. Candlelight marches, peace vigils and interfaith prayers were held across the region, echoing a collective voice against violence. Communities stood side by side, not divided by faith, but united by the shared belief in peace, humanity and justice.
मैं अभी डेलीगेट में हूँ। ये इंसिडेंट पहलगाम में हो गया। आप कब किसी भी गली में जाइए, किसी भी कोचे में जाइए, उनने सब ने अपने दरवाजे खोले, जो भी वहां से आए फ्री अकोमोडेशन दे रहे हैं, फ्री खाना दे रहे। मैं फ्री की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन जो जिसने खोया है वही वो जानता है। बिल्कुल नहीं देगी, ना ही कभी देगी, ना ही कभी देती आ रही है। हम इसके बिल्कुल खिलाफ है। ये हम में से नहीं है, ये इस्लाम में से नहीं है, ये बिल्कुल में से नहीं है। हम निकले हैं यहाँ से, हम कोई ट्रेड नहीं है, हम टूरिज्म बॉडी नहीं है, हम इंसानियत की तरफ से निकल रहे हैं। ये बिल्कुल नहीं होना चाहिए।
The recent terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir, for which the Resistance Front, widely recognized as a proxy outfit of the banned Lashkar-e-Taiba, has claimed responsibility, once again underscores the persistent threat of cross-border terrorism sponsored by Pakistan. The attack is not just an isolated incident, it is a part of a systematic campaign aimed at inciting fear, disrupting peace and undermining democratic processes in the region. However, the people of Jammu and Kashmir are increasingly rejecting this externally fueled violence. Civil society, religious leaders and communities across faiths are uniting to denounce terrorism and demand accountability from Pakistan.
Today, from the soil of Bihar, I say to the whole world, India will identify, track and punish every terrorist and their backers. We will pursue them to the ends of the earth. India's spirit will never be broken by terrorism. Terrorism will not go unpunished. Every effort will be made to ensure that justice is done. The entire nation is firm in this resolve. Everyone who believes in humanity is with us. I thank the people of various countries and their leaders who have stood with us in these times.
Following the abrogation of Article 370 in August 2019, Jammu and Kashmir witnessed a significant shift towards peace, stability and development. The region, long plagued by separatism and terrorism, began to see increased investment, improved infrastructure and a renewed sense of normalcy. However, the recent terror attack has dealt a painful blow to this hard-earned calm. The incident has once again disrupted the peace in the valley, bringing back painful memories of the dark days we believed were behind us. For the first time in 35 years, a complete shutdown was observed across Jammu and Kashmir to condemn this brutal terror attack. Markets remained closed, public transport stayed off the roads, and people from all walks of life joined together in protest. Yet amid the sorrow and anger, there remains a collective resolve among the people not to allow terror to define their future.
ये टूरिस्टों पे अटैक नहीं हुआ है, ये हम कश्मीरियों पे अटैक हुआ है, हमारी इंसानियत पे अटैक हुआ है, हमारी हॉस्पिटैलिटी पे अटैक हुआ है और कश्मीर की जो मेहमान नवाजी है उस पे अटैक हुआ है। जिसकी भी आज डेथ हो गई है या इंजर्ड हो गए, हम उनके साथ साथ है, ये अनएक्सेप्टेबल है। आप देखिए ये जो अटैक हुआ है, ये तो आप देखिए कितना बूम था यहाँ पे टूरिस्टों का। हमें समझ नहीं आ रहा है ये इसके पीछे किसका हाथ है, ये क्या मैसेज देना चाहते हैं। हमारी इकोनॉमी भी खत्म हो जाएगी इससे। हम इस टूरिज्म से ये हम ही नहीं जुड़े हैं, हमारी फैमिली जुड़े हैं, लाखों नौजवान इस टूरिज्म से जुड़े हैं, ये उन पे अटैक हुआ है। हम इसको कंडेम करते हैं, अनएक्सेप्टेबल है, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए।
Even after the brutal terror attack in Pahalgam, the people of Jammu and Kashmir continue to place their trust in the Indian government and security forces to combat Pakistan-sponsored terrorism. Rather than succumbing to fear, citizens across the region have stood firm in unity, rejecting violence and supporting the forces who protect them. The people of J&K know that such attacks aim to derail peace, but with the strength of the Indian government and armed forces behind them, they remain hopeful and determined. With courage and resilience, the people of J&K are supporting efforts to root out terror and build a secure, progressive and united future under the Indian flag. Women in India are shifting the narrative, taking the wheel, leading boardrooms and reshaping fields, both corporate and agricultural. With rising employment and sharper financial savvy, they are not just entering the workforce, they are redefining it. Stay with us for powerful stories of women breaking barriers and building legacies.
The women on screen are driving their own futures. Powered by Azad Foundation's Women with Wheels initiative, they are steering confidently toward independence and equality. The women of Azad Foundation stand as powerful symbols of transformation and resilience. Trained under the Foundation's flagship Women on Wheels program, these women have broken stereotypes by becoming professional drivers. Coming from marginalized backgrounds, many faced societal constraints, financial hardships and limited access to education. Yet, through Azad Foundation's support in skill development, life coaching and self-defense training, they have reclaimed agency over their lives.
स्कूटी चलाना बचपन से ही सीखना चाहती थी। मैंने अपनी लाइफ में साइकिल भी नहीं चलाई है, बट मुझे यहाँ पे आके स्कूटी चलाने का सीखने का मौका दिया जा रहा था, तो मैंने स्कूटी चलाना सीखा। अब अचीव ये करना चाहती हूँ मैं कि जैसे कि यहाँ पे स्कूटी चलाना सीख गई हूँ, मेरा लाइसेंस बन गया, तो मैं चाहती हूँ कि मैं जॉब करूँ। मैं भी मतलब बाकी लोगों की तरह चला सकती हूँ, लड़कों की बराबरी में खड़े होकर स्कूटी चला सकती हूँ। हमें यहाँ पे ऐसा सिखाया जाता है, तो मैं कर सकती हूँ और बाकी की महिलाएं भी कर सकती हैं।
Since 2008, Azad Foundation has been a catalyst for change, empowering hundreds of women annually through its city-based centers across India. Beyond teaching driving as a tool for independence, it nurtures leadership, challenges gender norms and uplifts youth through dynamic programs like the Feminist Leadership Journey, Men for Gender Justice and Azad Kishori. Each journey they take behind the wheel is a statement of empowerment, dignity and self-reliance. Their visibility on the roads challenges gender norms and reshapes public perceptions of what women can do.
जो महिलाएं हमारी रिसोर्स पुअर वुमेन हैं और उनको साधन उपलब्ध नहीं है जहां वो आगे निकल कर अपनी पहचान बनाएं, और अगर वो आगे निकलती भी हैं तो उनके लिए वही रोजगार उपलब्ध हैं जो परंपरागत हैं, जो चलते आ रहे हैं। वो टीचिंग करे, मेहंदी, सिलाई, ब्यूटिशियन। और आज़ाद फाउंडेशन ने ये सोचा कि हम उनके लिए जो रोजगार के साधन उपलब्ध कराएं वो उस फील्ड में जो उनके लिए गैर परंपरागत हैं और एक तरह से उस फील्ड के दरवाजे उनके लिए बंद हैं। तो उन्होंने ड्राइविंग की शुरुआत की इस सोच के साथ कि महिलाएं जब बाहर निकलेंगी तो दूसरी महिलाएं भी सुरक्षित होंगी।
On the bustling cities of Indian cities, where two-wheelers zip through daily chaos, Rapido is painting a bold stroke of empowerment, Pink. With its Empower Her initiative, Rapido's Pink Mobility launch is more than just a program. It's a movement designed to uplift women by providing them with sustainable income opportunities and greater independence. The launch event became a powerful platform for unity and purpose, bringing together thought leaders, NGOs, gig economy advocates and the very women, Rapido's captains, who are steering this change forward.
Over the last decade, we have almost created like 9 million jobs, and we have one of the core values is women empowerment. So right now we believe this is the right time to have dialogue on the Pink Mobility in itself. So we have piloted this for last 3 years in few of the top cities in the country and had some learnings, and now we believe it's time to spread the wings, scale, and look at how do we bring more inclusion of women workforce even to the gig workforce.
From boardrooms to farmlands and through the dynamic streets of India's cities, women are no longer just stepping in, they are stepping up as trailblazers of change. In sectors as diverse as mobility, fashion, edtech and agriculture, women are not only breaking barriers, they are transforming systems. The momentum is undeniable. The 2025 Niti Aayog report reveals that 27 million women are now monitoring their credit, a 42% increase in just 1 year. The surge reflects growing financial independence, signaling a future where women shape a more empowered, inclusive India. When women lead, communities become stronger and more resilient. Societies evolve and prosper when women are empowered with equal opportunities, breaking barriers and reshaping industries.
That's all we have for you in this week's episode. Goodbye and take care.